Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Monique Smith Gadson with Transforming Visions Counseling and Consulting Services. Thank you so much for visiting our channel on today. I'm so very excited that you are here because we are here introducing a new segment that is entitled And the Church Said. And this is a segment that will focus on sharing our expertise and experience from being on a church's staff for 16 years, trying to help create synergy as we promote mental health wellness and awareness in a synergistic way, talking about some of those cultural issues that are impacting and plaguing not only those individuals who make up our churches, but also those individuals who make up those communities that also impact our churches. Okay, so thank you again for tuning in, and I do hope that you find this segment informative and insightful as well. So my first topic that I wanted to discuss with this whole And the Church Said segment is talking about using support groups and small groups in your church. Small groups, support groups, I know some people use those interchangeably. I tend to kind of think they have a different focus. So for me, there is a distinction, but I will say small and support group. But to add small groups and support groups to your overall church's programming would be beneficial. It also gives the opportunity for you to increase your outreach in terms of various ministries. Small groups or support groups can be a way where people with shared lived experiences can come together. They can be shepherded, they can be discipled, they can minister to one another. They can also be healed in the context of sub-community of the overall community. One of the things that I want to make certain that we do understand when we are dealing with support groups and small groups is that it is to your advantage as a church to ensure that those facilitators are trained. They need to go through a facilitator training program to lead a support group or a small group. I know over time, many people would contact me and say that they would like to start a support group or a small group surrounding, say, divorce or grief or addiction recovery. We've done HIV awareness support. We have had several support groups, and over the years, again, people will contact me and say, I would like to facilitate this small group. And I have come to realize over the years is that just because a person has gone through an experience does not mean that it translates into them being an effective small group or support group leader. When we were being trained as counselors, one of the things that was continually told to us and impressed upon us is to do no harm. We are to do no harm. And sometimes what ends up happening is that harm is inflicted upon people who participate in support groups and small groups. Not that it was intentional, but just because it was probably due to a lack of training or a lack of preparation. One of the things that we do in training programs for small group and support group leaders is that we help them to be prepared to address various issues or situations that might arise when you're dealing with a specific group. For example, I did a consultation with a church who wanted to implement a support group for those members who were grieving. And I talked to them about needing to have policies and procedures in place in case they had someone to show up who is suicidal. They felt at first that was unnecessary. We're just going to deal with people who are just grieving. We don't think we're going to get into that. But I told them, you cannot say who will come or what state of mind a person will be in when they are grieving. And they may come to a support group meeting and they may very well be on the verge of wanting to commit suicide. So are you prepared? What do you do next? What is the policy of the church? What do you document? What don't you document? Who do you call? These are all questions that need to be answered. And when you're in the midst of that situation, that's not the time to try to figure out what it is that needs to be done. So if you are looking to expand your ministry's reach at your church using support groups and small groups, I just strongly suggest to you to make sure that those facilitators are properly trained. We at Transforming Visions do implement a support group or small group leader training program that we have created over the years when we saw what the needs would be for those facilitators who would oversee those particular groups. So we will be more than happy to assist you with that should that be a need for you. But again, just wanted to come and share with you that if you are looking to implement support groups or small groups as a part of your church's ministerial outreach programs, please ensure that those leaders of those groups are trained. Also, contact your church's insurance company, because there are some insurance companies that will require those particular leaders to be trained as part of the coverage for that particular insurance policy. So I strongly suggest that you start there, check with your insurance policy, your insurance company, to see if that is a requirement if you are looking to implement support groups in your church. And secondly, if it is, even if it's not, it's just good practice to go ahead and train those leaders, effective support group and small group leaders, so they will find themselves prepared depending on what kind of circumstances may arise, and they also be of the mind that they do no harm. All right. Thank you so much for listening in on today's segment. And the church said we would definitely be coming back and sharing more information under this segment for you. I am Dr. Monique Smith Gadson. Please subscribe to my channel. Share with others who might be interested in the information that we will be sharing here. And also, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Transforming Visions. Thank you so much for tuning in on today, and I look forward to speaking with you again really soon.